Hey guys, this is Justin. Hello and welcome to another video. So today we'll be talking Tales of the Jedi completely spoiler free. I'll be giving you guys my thoughts, not quite a review, but just what I would want to know to set my expectations before going into the show. I was lucky enough to get all 6 episodes sent to me as a screener, and by the way, if that's something you're interested in, I included a guide for media members on my Andor review video, which I'll link in the upper right hand corner. Now, that also means I can't show any footage, and there's only like a couple of minutes worth of trailer footage, so I'm just going to throw some gameplay up. You'll have to just listen to me, but let's talk about it. So, Tales of the Jedi. It started off actually yesterday with a bit of controversy. I posted the episode lengths, and I don't think there's any over 17 minutes long. All 6 episodes together come out to be about an hour and a half. The good thing is there's almost no credits, maybe like 30 seconds at the end of each episode. Ditto for the intro, so you're not having a bunch of wasted time. But these are shorts, these are not episodes, and that's also how they advertised it, as shorts. So some people were disappointed, maybe that had to do with how they set expectations, but it was kind of what I expected personally. Let's talk about the good for Tales of the Jedi. There are 6 episodes and each one of them is beautiful. The visuals are great, the music is often not very Star Warsy, but it stood on its own in a really great way. I believe it was Kevin Kiner who did all the music, and he did a great job. He only really cut away to like original trilogy or prequel trilogy themes very conservatively, and that's what made it most effective, I think. Obviously the animation, as I mentioned, is great. It's up there with the Bad Batch, as you would expect, but the scope of the episodes wasn't very big. We do get some time spent on Coruscant. We know that from the trailer. I'm not going to go into more because of spoilers, but the environments weren't quite as diverse as I would have liked. I just wish they had done something a bit more interesting. Also, being careful to avoid spoilers. If you're expecting a lot of scale, huge battles, something like we saw in season 7 of the Clone Wars, this probably isn't for you. One of the show's strengths is how thoughtful and nuanced it is. This is a real exploration of the characters, particularly Ahsoka and Dooku. Dooku was definitely my favorite. I've had more than enough of Ahsoka. I like her as a character, but to me, the show's biggest weakness is the fact that it is focused on these 2 characters. Tales of the Jedi as a title, as an idea, has so much potential. When I heard the show was announced, or really when there were rumors that a show called Tales of the Jedi was being worked on, my hope was that it would show Jedi throughout the ages. My fear would that it would be essentially another tie-in to the Clone Wars, and of course, my fears were founded. Dave Filoni feels a little unwilling to move out of his comfort zone with this one. It's got a lot of the same beats we've seen before. I'd say it doesn't do anything really interesting or super new with the characters of Ahsoka, Dooku, or really the supporting characters in the show. And that just feels like such a shame, where this is a free medium. Obviously, Visions isn't canon, so you can't make a direct comparison, but something like the Village Bride in Star Wars Visions did so much to touch on themes of the Jedi and the Force while using completely new characters. That's not to say that the messaging or the tone or whatever else isn't effective in Tales of the Jedi rather. I think it is, but I just don't find myself feeling like I need more from these characters, especially when there was, as mentioned, that possible for much more interesting, again, subjective storytelling. That being said, if you're a huge fan of these characters, if you really love the Clone Wars, if you want more of that content, I think this show is for you. You could probably call this like Tales of the Clone Wars, and it would be a more accurate title. There were some really touching moments though, as I mentioned. I won't spoil them. There's a few that will really be talked about, and also some which I think may fall flat. One thing that was great though is the voice acting. I'm not going to spoil who they got back from the prequel trilogy and the Clone Wars, but I was definitely pleasantly surprised. So the show's definitely not bad. I want to make it clear. Is it worth your time? Absolutely. It's a fun little, hour and a half bit of television or shorts, whatever. It's just personally not what I would have done, and it's ultimately a disappointing return to what we've definitely done before. I don't think it'll be very controversial though, because what's there, if you like the context, as I've been saying repeatedly, is very good. I just hope that they do more with this. If they do want it Clone Wars focused, okay, but let's also take the time to explore other eras. I mean, they're putting so much effort into the High Republic. They've got a show called Tales of the Jedi. They can't, make a High Republic thing. I know some of that's money. They've got to reuse assets and character models and whatever else, but there's so much story to be told. I'm okay with the Clone Wars being told in perpetuity if that's what Filoni and co wants, but let's look at more at the same time. Just my thoughts though, let me know yours down below. I'm sure you will. Until next time guys, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.